Now, coming off a tough loss against Carlsbad, and it was kind of the similar things we talked about with Centennial, just plays here or there, getting off the field on 3rd and 4th down. Obviously, the 4th and 10 towards the end of the game was kind of the key moment, but there was a lot of things that led up to that. And we talked about kind of the similarities between the two teams. Both of you guys knew what you wanted to and need to do to win that game, and credit Carlsbad, they made a few more plays last week.
They did, and that's a credit to Coach Sanders, his staff, and that football team this year. In their crucial situations, they made more plays in those crucial situations than we did, and that's the frustrating part. And our kids knew the expectation going into last Friday and what our plan was. And you see at times when we executed really well. I mean, we ran, and then at times when we can't get off the field, or we never had a 3 and out, but we would have a first down, and then we would make a poor decision, or we'd blow a screen game call, and now we're 2nd and 20 with Nathaniel with Best trying to make a play out of nothing. And that's stuff that you live with, and that's what, as frustrating as it can be when Best takes a sack on one of those, it's, hey, you live with it and die with it, because he does make a lot of really good things happen, so then we got to accept when stuff like that goes south for us. But frustrating is kind of the nice way to put it, for sure, and that's a game that we felt like we kind of really dominated offensively at times. We got stops when we needed to, but then when we get into those crucial situations, we couldn't make plays. I want to say we dropped 2 picks that probably would have been game changers. It was just frustrating. Our kids didn't make the plays when they needed to in the crucial situations, and that's something that we went back on Monday morning and we talked to them about. Like, hey, we had the opportunity. We got to look in the mirror now and be men about it and handle it the right way. And I thought they've done a great job since we've seen them Monday morning.
And that's obviously a positive, man. I feel like this team's handled the good with the bad, as well as you can throughout the season. Yeah, and it was such a strange game because your offense, you guys had huge plays, but didn't really get into the routine, I guess I would say, of having long drives like you guys were used to.
We never had in the whole first half we ran 15 plays.
Yeah,
and had a 19 to whatever lead, and had 5 first downs. I mean, we were productive on offense, and then at times it was us scoring real fast, and then they would put a drive together of 4 or 5 minutes, and our defense was on the field a long time, and they've got to be able to get those stops and not let them get 2 or 3 first downs. But that was frustrating. We never got into a real rhythm offensively because of just only running 15 plays. We only ran 40 plays offensively in the entire game, and that's a credit to Carlsbad. We didn't give a bunch of big plays. We gave some big plays at the wrong time, but they were able to sustain drives for long periods of time and really put us behind the sticks.
Well, you have to put that behind you. For the second time this season, you get one of the Cruces schools coming off a bye week on a short week for you guys, and it's the best team in the state right now in Las Cruces, and they provide all sorts of challenges for pretty much anybody in the state, and obviously we'll do that for you guys this week.
Oh, for sure. We look at this, and one is you got to thank Cruces for the scheduling of the district games, and now we get a short week, and they both get bye weeks, and both are ranked in the top 3 in the state. But like what we told our kids last week is we got to win 2 of our last 3 games. Well, we still have that same opportunity, so we still approach that mindset. When we got as disappointing Friday was, as soon as the game was over, we told our kids, hey, we still control our own destiny. We don't need help from anybody else. I mean, if we do what we're supposed to do, we're still going to be in the playoffs. And then when you play the number 1 team in the state, you have nothing to lose. Like you get to play free. It's an opportunity to take on a quality football team that's played really well and beat Cleveland and beaten everybody they're supposed to, and has not played an easy schedule. I mean, they challenge themselves. It's a really good football team, but you have nothing to lose. I mean, and our kids kind of embrace that this week. We have nothing to lose. We have everything to gain. We can guarantee our playoff spot with a win on tomorrow night. So embracing that mentality of it's kind of us against the world, and that mentality, and it's not and I tell our kids all the time, I use the analogy, there's times that we've taken knives to gunfights. And I said, now we're at the point now where we're not taking knives to gunfights. We've got to have that mentality that we can play with anybody if we do what we're supposed to do. And showcasing that on senior night against number 1 team state would be a special deal.
Yeah. Offensively for you guys, I know the injuries have certainly caused problems for your ability to do all the things that you want to do. But it's one of those that you just have to go with what's out there and try to get things back rolling. What kind of challenges does Cruces' defense present for you guys?
They're going to play man across the board. They're going to put 7 or 8 in the box, and that's kind of what we get with anybody, anyways. Defensively, like their D line, they return 1 starter, and he's good. He's a 3-year starter, but they've got 3 sophomores that start for him. They've got the Walter kid playing linebacker, who started as a DN last year, a sophomore, and his brother was a stud inside linebacker for him last year as well. And they're going to come, and they're going to load the box and dare you to throw and beat their man coverage, and I think our athletes will match their athletes in that regard. So we're going to take our chances down the field vertically and try to get them loose in the box and let us get going. But one of the big things that we've got to do, and we've struggled the last 2 weeks against Centennial and Carlsbad, is when we've missed some linemen that are crucial to us, and then trying to plug some spots. That those guys have to play better, and we've got to do a better job up front of communicating with the young guys that are in there and executing, because at times when we do it correctly, even with the backups in, they're really good, and then at times when we don't communicate, we screw up blocking schemes, and that puts us behind the sticks, which is where we don't want to be. So offensively, we got to be able to control the clock, same mindset of who we are, and do a better job communicating effectively, and then take our shots down the field and see if we can match athletes.
Yeah, and you certainly had, success with going down the field last week. So, it's one of those that we saw more of that last week than maybe we saw in a game all season. And so a little bit of finding some positives there. You just want to be able to obviously get back to maybe being able to sustain those drives like you have, because fewer possessions in a game like this would obviously be better for you.
That's the game plan. We told our kids on Monday, we've got to shorten the game, and Cruces can't score if we're holding on the ball and having long drives and putting points on the board and maximizing opportunities. But then that also goes to our defense. We've got to get off the field. If we do what we're supposed to do offensively, defensively, we've got to get off the field. When we get them in 3rd and long and 4th and long, like we had the last couple of weeks, and we don't force them to punt because we give up a first down, whether it's penalty or we give up a chunk play. We've got to come through if we want to upset the number 1 team today. We got to make those plays in those situations.
And for you all defensively, what are the keys against obviously a very potent offense that is just putting up 50+ or sometimes 60+ points against teams this year?
They return almost everybody offensively besides the line. All their skill kids are back, and they graduate their senior line, and then they just get new ones that are bigger. So it's
what a nice thing, right?
The rich get richer.
Yeah.
But you go to the quarterback, Gunnar Guardiola. He's the kid that when we knocked out their starter his freshman year, he had to come in and play against us, and then has been the starter ever since. And then you go to the running back, Daniel Amaro. He might be one of the best running backs in the state. One of the things that's shocking is he's not getting as recruited as I think he is, and that could be a size thing, but he is explosive and dynamic. He's going to touch it a ton. Guardiola, with his leadership and being able to play so long, he gets to throw it to the 3 receivers who are legit. And then you got a kid like Francisco Winnickoff, who's a 3-year kid, who's big, physical, and can just blow the top off of coverage. So defense, we got our hands full. And our Cruces is who they are. They're going to line up. They're going to run the football. They're going to run their counter schemes, and they're going to run play action to take shots vertically with their big receivers and skill kids. That's who they've been for a long time. That's who they're going to continue to be. It's us being in a good situation and aligning correctly, and then just playing free. That's one of those things we've talked about. Play free. We're playing the number 1 team in the state. We got everything to gain, and all the pressure should be on them.
It is senior night, and you got a group of guys obviously that have some of them played since they were sophomores and have maybe been in the program since they were back on the freshman team, but been on varsity since they were sophomores. And it's not a huge senior class this year, but you definitely have a lot of guys that have been crucial to this year being successful and showing improvement in previous seasons as well.
Yeah, you go to our seniors, and we've lost some seniors with injuries throughout the year. We've only got, I think we're down to 12 that can actually are healthy enough to play, and that's a struggle, and that breaks your heart for kids and those guys that have been in our program for 4 years. You talked about the guys that have been here since freshmen. Out of our 16 seniors, I want to say 14 of them been here since they were freshmen, and it might even be 15 have all been in this program, have put everything into this program that we've asked, and so when they get the opportunity, this will be their last chance to play at home in the stadium under the lights and have that environment. It's a special deal. It's a sad deal for them. We know it's not the end of our journey as a football team this year, and it's not the end of their journey for some of them as football players in their career as well. But it's a special thing because those guys have done a lot for our program, and I'm forever grateful to every senior that's come through and the guys that when I first got here in 2017 that laid the groundwork for these kids to have the success they have. It's going to be tough to say goodbye to them. Hopefully we don't have to say goodbye to them for another few weeks and make sure that goodbye is in November and a happy moment. But it's going to be a tough moment for a lot of them walking off that field the last time. And a lot of them are from this community that are born and raised here, and they grow up just all they dream about is being a Tiger on Friday nights. And so as a former football player, I remember my senior night vividly and walking off the field the last time in my home stadium, and that's a tough thing to do. I can't imagine I don't think people who aren't a part of this know what it's truly like to walk off that field and know you'll never get to do that again the rest of your life. And that's one of the things that we tell our kids and we educate them about is when you're done playing football, you don't ever play again. It's not like any other sports. You can go play a pickup game, basketball, or an adult league. And when we're done with this football season this year, those seniors will take off the helmet and the jersey, and they're never going to put it on again the rest of their life, and that's heartbreaking. So our underclassmen want to perform well and play well for those seniors and make sure they're successful on their last home game in Tiger Stadium and in front of their community. And our seniors definitely want to do that. And so we need everybody out there to support them, send them off. They've been a huge part of our success the last 3 years. And being competitive in the biggest classification, and that's something that we want to reward them for and make sure they're recognized for what they've done.
And, of course, also, usually you guys do student ATs and cheerleaders as well.
No senior cheerleaders.
No senior cheerleaders this year. Okay.
It'll be a fast senior.
All right.
It'll be a fast senior night.
And then, of course, we should also mention during halftime, the band will do their thing with their seniors as well. So it's an opportunity to celebrate a lot of kids that have put in a lot of hard work over the years.
And I think that's something the community's got to recognize. They don't get to see everything. They get to see them on a Friday night or at a band performance or at a cheer competition. They don't understand what these kids have done. I mean, you go to our student athletic trainers are there at 5 o'clock in the morning when we're here for 2 days, and then they're here at 5:30 in the morning for 6 a.m. practices, and they're here after school when it's 110. You go to band's here twice a day, and they're here when we're practicing at 7 a.m. Band's out there playing the music in the parking lot at 7 a.m. as well and getting after it. And you got cheer that's going in the summer, and they have a class now. They're here a long time and during the day. It's a big deal for all those kids, and to get recognized for what they've done for something that they're very passionate about and something they enjoy, whether they're participating or playing in it. And then something that they've been passionate about is representing their high school in this community. And I think the best thing for our community to do is recognize what they've done for 4 years and make sure they're seen off the right way.
And last chance to get to see a home game with these kids all together this season. So I know Thursday nights can sometimes be a little bit, you forget out there, or you don't, whatever the deal is. Make sure you get out on Thursday night. It's going to be nice weather. Should be a beautiful night to see some football. So
yeah, it'll be a fun one. You get to see us take on the number one team state, and hopefully something special is going to happen.
All right. Coach, good luck, and thanks as always for your time.
Appreciate it, man. Go Tigers.